Hi everyone, so this is my third vlog for Informatics 645 at Mercer University, and this week we had to discuss the risk management professional. And the role of the risk management professional is to prevent or lessen the losses that can be associated with things that an organization can be held legally liable for. So any risks that the organization could encounter, the risk management professional is responsible for helping to eliminate or lessen those risks. So the main part of that includes preventing the risk from happening and developing plans to prevent those risks and coming up with solutions should those risks not be prevented. And they have to go about communicating the plans and the solutions with all the individuals in the hospital that may be affected by those risks. So an example could be the risk of pressure ulcers when using a CPAP or BiPAP mask for an extended period of time. That risk management professional would come up with a strategy to help prevent those pressure ulcers, like checking the mask every 4 hours or cleaning the face every 4 hours, just checking to make sure the mask hasn't been on the face for too long of a time, and solutions to the problem of a pressure ulcer should the mask not be checked every 4 hours, and should the patient get pressure ulcers, the risk management professional would come up with solutions to try to change that or help with the pressure ulcers. The risk management professional generally reports directly to the CEO or the COO, the Senior Vice President of the hospital, but it can vary based on the organization. Some of them have them report to other committees or CEOs of the education board, but it just generally depends on the organization. And the risk management professional must work together with the board to help educate all the medical staff on all the risk management strategies and all the prevention plans and solution plans. An example of that would be having meetings with each department to just go over and discuss with the staff if there are any high incidents of risk, like if with the pressure ulcer example, if there are high incidents of pressure ulcers, they would get together and discuss with the particular staff that deal with it, like the nurses or the respiratory therapists, and discuss with them any changes that can be made, any new prevention strategies, just to get the incidence down of the pressure ulcers. Also, the risk management professional has to write up a report and present it to the board, and the report has to include any events that happen, as far as any risk and any follow-ups with these. So, for example, my hospital, when something happens, we have to fill out an ONS report, and when we fill out that ONS report on the incident, a follow-up has to be done. So anything like that would have to be in the risk management professional's report. And also any information on lawsuits that the hospital or organization may encounter because of the certain risks. If any of the families or anybody tries to sue the hospital because of any risks that were associated with their family member being in the hospital or anything like that, that has to be in the professional's report, whether they won the lawsuit or whether the hospital won, if they settled, who had to, if the hospital had to pay the family. All that has to be written up in the report and just given to them ever so often, so they'll know if there are any trends and certain incidences, if there are like trends, like I mentioned with the pressure ulcers, if this causes more pressure ulcers to happen versus this, if we do it this way. They have to write all that up and put it in the risk management report and hand it over to the board.